Right, as far as I can remember, it was this station, um, the one that was a long way away. So it's worth going over there. Moskowitz Gateway. So if we select that, it's within the system. So we don't need to do any of these things yet. If you just look at, let's just see what it says in advanced maintenance. That doesn't have what I was looking for. We'll do that in the next station. Right, so we'll just take off now and go to that other one. So, same procedure, vertical, pips to engines, landing gear away, boost. And it's more or less in front of us from where we were just there. So, yeah, when we get to this station here, we're going to get a better engine, so we can boost much more, get places quicker. So we're clear of mass lock, get a frame shift drive going. So 30,000 light seconds takes about 5 minutes. So I'll see you over there. Alright, here we are, nearly there now. Throttle's in the blue zone. And same thing, I can see the slots on the little hologram to the left. So if you can see, I'm trying to match the approach by putting the dot, the mouse widget, in a sort of corresponding position, and what that'll do is it'll straighten it up so I come in directly from the front. So as it's tilting round towards me, so I'm just sort of curving slightly. I can just change my angle a bit. Right, here we go. That's close enough. There you go, that right in front. That's really handy for smuggling, because if you want to get in without being scanned, you just go in straight down the axis line, just fairly fast with full throttle. So, where are we? Contacts. Oops. Request docking. Green on the right hand side. So I'm still full throttle at the moment. This is how you'd come in smuggling or with any illicit cargo. And then just slow down when you get this bit there. Scan detected. If I try, once you're inside, you're home. So you wouldn't have had a chance to finish it. So I'd have just nipped in like that. Well, as if you like fly around the edge of the station or whatever. So landing gear, they're going to scan you, and then you get massive fines, and then when you don't pay the fines you get bounties.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh yeah, I've got one other thing to show you. Let's just come up again. This is quite handy, particularly when it's like landing pad number 1. I think 31. It's another one as well. Like right now I can't see where the pad is, you know, if I rotate round. Where the hell is it? But what happens is once you're inside the station, that compass thing points to it. So if I just rotate round till it's underneath me, there it is there. And when that dot's on the edge, it's directly underneath you. And when it's hollow, it means you're too far forward. And when it comes up above the bottom, solid, means you're too far back. So I just want to go forward a little bit. So you can land on instruments. That's really handy. Especially when you're on a big ship and you can't, you know, because your ship gets in the way, blocks them out. So there's a 12, you can see it coming now. Oops, you nearly got me. So just forwards a bit. I'm just doing it on the dots now. So I've got to go forwards a little bit till it's right on the edge. Okay, then downwards. Probably tilting a bit because it keeps going forwards. Right, so forwards a bit. To the left a bit. Right, I mean. I can see the pad now, so yeah, you can navigate directly to the pad without even knowing where it is. I keep pressing the wrong button because I've got these new sticks. I'm so used to doing it with my other sticks, it takes a long time to break those habits. Right, so here we go. So now we're in a station with outfitting. So here's outfitting here. Just before we do that, I just want to show you something. Advanced maintenance. If you have a look up here, ship integrity, 99%. Well, the ship's still fairly new, so we actually lost 1% of its integrity. And that, I think that just goes down with time. I don't think it's anything to do with fighting or anything like that. But periodically, you just want to check that and just make it back to 100%. Because when it gets really low, strange things start happening. It's very easy to forget about that. You don't have to worry about your paintwork. It's always on 99%. So if you just want to waste 10 credits, you can do. So you can do the other things there, like if you did need repairs and new restock is for limpets and missiles, things like that, and ammunition. But you can do that here as well. Here. Refuel, repair, restock. See, that's normally where you do it, but just from time to time check this advanced maintenance. Right, so now we go to outfitting, and now we're going to make our ship a lot better with all the best things we got here, and we're going to spend all that million, and then we can make even more money, or we can make money faster than we just did. So I reckon it was about an hour, so we made about just over $1 million an hour. Right, so just going to take you through outfitting, how to do it. So start at the top. We got these pulse lasers. We don't want to change those for reasons I said before, because as long as you've got those, nobody will shoot back at you. If you go out there with heavy duty weapons, they'll start shooting back at you straight away, and that's bad. So you can just get money for nothing at the moment, so get it while you can. And then, as I said, when you've got a decent ship, enough money, you know, you want 10, 20 million, something like that, get yourself a Vulture and, you know, with some big weapons, and go out there and kick some butt. Right, utility mounts, you don't really need anything. Oh yes you do. So let's take the first one, browse shop. So what we want is a kill-warrant scanner. So I've already got them all here. I'm going to take, I don't think there's a weight penalty, 1.3, 1.8. I'm going to take this one for now. I might have to change that. Oh no, it's a million, sorry. That's too expensive. I'm going to take the C one, 121,000. I might come back for the B one. See how much money I've got left over. So what that does, that gets you about at least 20% extra bounties just as a bonus by using it, and I'll show you how to use it in a minute. So we've done utility mounts. You could get yourself as chaff, but as nobody's going to shoot you, what's the point? Don't need it. So core internals, right, starting with the power plant. Let's get some more power. So we might as well get the best. So we get an A1, 2A, just exchange, we'll finish with the old one. Thrusters, we want the best we can get to go as fast as we can. 2A, good. So we've got quite a lot of nice stuff here. Frame shift drive, that's for jumping further. See what one they got, it's probably a B one I think. Oh no, you got an A. Buying object, we need to keep an eye on our money as well. So that's where that extra 100,000 was quite useful. So we're down to 600,000. Life support, just going to leave that for a bit. Power distribute, that's the one that allows us to boost more frequently. It fills up the capacitor faster. And we can get a 1A, which is the best. So we've got that. Then sensors, we want them to be as best we can get as well. They allow you to see further. So all those little ships that were flashing on the radar that you couldn't quite tell what they were, this will now make them appear sooner. You can see the range is 8 kilometres. I think the other ones, the ones we've got, what are they? I can't see here. 1E, there you go. Oh no, that's 8. What's the difference here then? Oh, it's this one here, sorry. 6 as opposed to 4. So we'll have them exchange. So we've still got 500,000 left. So we might be able to get that kill once. So life support. Now what that is, that's how long your oxygen lasts when you get your canopy blown out. And as nobody's shooting us, we don't need to worry about that. So nothing for us there. But we can get a little bit more speed by getting a lighter one if they've got one. So 1D. So that only weighs half a ton. I think the other one is 1.3 tons. So that saves a bit of weight. So you might as well get that one. That makes you a little bit faster as well. So that's a fairly typical combat loadout. Everything maximum apart from life support, which you want 1D for lightweight. So now we go to the shields. So that's in the optional. So we've got a 2E at the moment. So you have a choice here. It doesn't really make much difference. In fact, you don't even need shields, to be honest. I did a lot of it without shields before. Where's shields? Down here. Shield generators, that you want. So a buy weave costs less and it regenerates quicker if you do take any fire, and an A1 has more shielding but takes longer to regenerate. It's just personal choice which one you want. It doesn't make any difference because nobody's going to shoot you. It's only if you bump into something. So, and they're the same weight. That's 2.5 tons. That's 2.5 tons. So, and we got loads of money. So I'm going to go for the 2A this time. But quite often for this sort of activity, I would use 2C, especially in the bigger ships. If you've got a Vulture, get the C bi-weave one rather than the A one. So we've done that. What else can we get? Yeah, we'll have a fuel scoop. How are we doing for power? Now if you look here, our maximum power from that new power plant was 9.6 megawatts, and we've used up 9 megawatts so far when we've got our weapons out. With the weapons in, it's 7.44. So you've just got to be mindful of that. So where's our fuel scoop? There. So 2A would be nice. So how much power is that? Oh, I think we're still within buying options. What that'll do, that allows us to travel anywhere now. We don't have to worry about refueling. You just scoop at all the stars. So that's it. So these things here, you don't need to do anything else. These limpets and things, they're used for collecting and mining stuff. You don't need that. This thing's more for exploring. Cargo racks. We don't need to carry anything just yet. So these are all things for later. You've got a good way to make money at the moment. You're going to make more money doing this than carrying any cargo. So just stick with it for a bit, and then there's other things you can do. Right, so we're not going to go, if you want to go pirating, you know, you use these things, but you aren't going to do that in a Sidewinder. Refinery, that's for mining. Shield cell banks, that's for bigger combat ships, really. Scanners and things for exploring. So we're okay. We've got everything we can. You could do. They got reinforcements here. Yeah, you've got these hull and module reinforcements, but they, you know, the extra weight I think slows you down, so not worth it. You know, like in your Vulture, you need these module reinforcements more than hull reinforcements. Stop your canopy being blown out and all your modules being sniped when your shields are gone. But as nobody's shooting us, we don't need anything. You know, you could go out there without shoots, stay out there all the time, as long as you don't shoot the wrong ship, should be okay. So we got plenty of power. That's it. So I'll stick with that for now. So our speed now, our boost speed down here, it's gone up to 356 meters per second. That's going to be really handy for getting from one fight to another, and we're going to be able to boost more frequently as well. So we're going to be able to get around a bit quicker. They'll still go to 0% before you can get there, but because it's just been programmed like that. But yeah, don't worry about it. Just be patient. So at jump range now we can jump 18 light years. It's quite a long way, so we can get to most places now. And what else? So that's it. And we still got 100,000 left. That was that extra, you know, what we had beyond a million. So we got a little bit of safety. Our rebuy cost is 54,000. So we can get blown up twice, but not that we're going to get blown up at all. So, and we still got enough insurance to cover it. So that's a pretty safe situation to be in. We go back there and carry on. Right, so what was I going to show you? Right, so we've got a couple of things to do in getting our ship sorted out yet. So now we're going to go over to this side to the modules. Right, first thing is we're not going to use our cargo hatch. So we're going to switch it off and save 6% of our power. So we're only now using 91% of our power. So what that means is that the power plant will run a little bit cooler, which is handy for when you're scooping, and doesn't really affect us on these weapons. So generally it's a good idea to switch things off that you're not using anyway, particularly when you're in ships later in the game. So we've sorted that. We could do priorities. There's no exact rules. What that does is, like, when you're taking damage, the one with the lowest priority gets damaged first, and when you haven't got enough power, the one with the lowest priority goes off first. So we don't really need to do anything here. So the things that you need for essential running of your ship, like engines, not the kill-warrant scanner. So what you do there is, whoops, wrong button. It must be that button, yeah. Make it priority 3, because that's only like a sort of bonus module that gets you extra money. It's not vital for your running of your ship. Sensors, yeah, you want them working all the time really, to be able to see other ships and see stations and things. Power distributor, you want that working all the time. Fuel scoop, you know, you can make that a lower priority. It doesn't matter if you lose that, especially when you're fighting, because the station's nearby anyway. Pulse lasers, you know, I'm going to make them priority 2. So then fuel, because you don't want to lose them when you're fighting. Life support, again, you know, as long as you've got enough to get to the station, it's not really a problem. Frame shift drive, you could make that a lower priority. Some people do. These other things are fixed. So right now the fire groups, this is the important bit. So we had our, what these lines are here is anything with a number 1 on it is on trigger 1, anything with a number 2 is on trigger 2. So I'm going to put the kill-warrant scanner on trigger 2. You press it twice to get there. We're not going to use the data link scanner now, so you can forget about that. You know, you only use that when you're scanning data points and things again later. So later on in the game, when you've got like loads of weapons and you want to swap between them, then what you can do is put them, you know, another group here, and if you put, this is secondary fire group, you can have third, 4, I don't know how many fire groups, you can have quite a few, and then you can have like just that one pulse laser in that group. So you press the fire groups button, it switches between 1 and 2 pulse lasers all the time on trigger 1. So, you know, sorry, I hit the wrong button. So yeah, you can play about with those. So, you know, but you still want your kill-warrant scanner available for that group maybe, so you have that in group 2. So, you know, you can have a play about that. Not important for this ship, because the only thing you need to do is get that kill-warrant scanner on group 2, on trigger 2. Right, now, here's the trick. You go to your options. So that's, let's escape out of this. Options, here we go. And it's in controls. And we've got to find that kill-warrant scan. Oh, trigger 2. So it's under weapons. Primary fire, joystick 1. Okay, that's my trigger button on my right joystick. Secondary fire, I've actually got it on the trigger on joystick 2, but you can have more than one. And what I've got it here is on the number pad, the minus button. So on the right hand side of your keyboard, where you got all the numbers and the numlock and the other enter and the plus and minus, the very top right one is the minus key. So to put it on there, you just click on it and then press the minus button. There you are, it's back there again now. Now, what happens is, when I press the minus button, the kill warrant scanner will go off. So what you do, you arrive in the resource extraction site, and as soon as you arrive, you get a weight, whatever weight you want. I use a D-cell type battery, you know, something that'll sit on that key and hold it down. So I'm sure you can find something somewhere, fishing weight or anything like that, but the battery thing works well. An AA cell isn't heavy enough and it'll topple if you joggle at all, but the D cell is wider. I think a C cell will probably work as well. So a C or a D cell, just as soon as you get to the resource, put it on the minus key. And there are some circumstances when it stops working. So if you see that your kill warrant scanner isn't working automatically, you know, when you target a ship, you should immediately see it, the kill warrant scanner going off. So if it doesn't go off, then just lift the battery and put it back down again to reset it. And then when you leave, before you can engage your frameshift drive, you have to put your weapons away. And that can, because you've got the trigger on all the time, it keeps your weapons out. So what you have to do is take the battery off, put it on your desk, then put your weapons away, then you can engage your frameshift and get going. That's particularly important if you're fleeing from the police because you shot the wrong ship. So as soon as you get that assault charge, get that battery off, put your weapons away, boost first, but while you're boosting, battery off, weapons away, boost again, get the frameshift drive going as soon as you're clear of mass lock and on your way, and you won't get killed. But if you start panicking and you forget to boost and you don't have 4 pips to your engines and things like that, they'll catch you up and blow you up, and then there's other things to deal with. So what I'm going to do, I'll make a second video to go with this. So this is part 1. There'll be part 2, which then covers what to do when you've made that fundamental mistake of shooting the wrong ship, and I'll show you how you can get away quickly and safely every time without getting blown up by the feds. Okay, I've already done one, but I just want to add to it a little bit to make it clear. So I can cancel that because I didn't make any changes. So back to the game menu. So that's our kill warrant scanner. So now a lot of people are telling, oh, kill warrant scanner is not worth it. You know, you waste so much time waiting for it to scan, blah, blah, blah. Don't take any notice of them. It's now doing it that way, fully automatic. You can just forget about it. Just arrive at the resource extraction site, put on the weight, and away you go. And just get extra 20, minimum of 20%. What happens is some of the money can only be collected in, we're in Federation space, are we? No, we're in Alliance. So some of the money can only be collected in Federation and Empire space. So you can collect at any station when you go to one of those ones later. But the chances are you probably get blown up before you get a chance to collect it. So, you know, that's sort of a bonus if you've still got it when you get there, because you're going to be travelling around a lot later in the game.